First off, thanks for everyone for being here today. I know day after Christmas and a lot going on. Awesome to see our fan base, our families, all of you here to support this game and support our team. Huge thanks to the GameAbove Sports Bowl, the Detroit Lions, everyone involved in this event. This week was an incredible experience for our program, our players, our coaching staff. Being away from home over a holiday is never easy, but the staff here and everyone involved in our program made it an incredible week for our players and all of our staff and families involved. Really proud of our football team. If you look back on our preparation over the course of the last month, everything that, in the way that our guys operated, I couldn't have been more confident in terms of the fact that we prepared to the best of our ability. It was such an honor and a privilege to be with this group for an additional month in our bowl prep. To see how important it was to our captains, to our seniors, to our football team to finish what we started and with a bowl championship. We talked about leaving a legacy that, regardless of the outcome of this game, this group of seniors is leaving a legacy within this program that will have ripple effects for years to come. Part of the tangible legacy, eighth team in Northwestern football history to win a bowl championship, to earn a bowl victory. It's a big deal. We talked about that in our preparation. And something that, has been a strong part of the culture of this program in recent years, needs to continue to be. And then also an opportunity for us to evaluate as we get into January how we continue to raise that standard and chase down the goals that we have for this program. But I promise you, the success that is on the continued success that is on the horizon for this football program, a lot of it's going to stem back to this group of seniors and the things that they set out to do in terms of reestablishing and redefining the standard for this football program back in January. Not public can't be public. I can't, comment on any further than the fact that got some exciting news, after the game. There's a lot of young men in that locker room that are going to have an opportunity to play football beyond their college years. Handful of guys that are verified draft picks in that locker room right now. And, in the day and age that we're in college football, a lot of guys in that situation would have made a decision to opt out. And, if they would have, you can't fault them for that. But you know what? It shows who they are. It shows how much they care about their teammates. It shows how much this program means to them, that they were fully committed to finishing this thing off, finishing what they started, and sending our seniors out on top. And that's what we did today. Huge credit to Matt Drinkle in Central Michigan. That's a really good football team, a really well-coached football team. Matt, in his first year, did an incredible job. That is a program that is on the rise under his leadership. And, for us to win the way that we did today is a reflection of our seniors, of our guys in their preparation, and just so honored to and excited to send that group out the right way.
Coach, I think the exciting and challenging thing about a game like this is that so many of the best players like Brayden Turner, Braden Russ, Fitzgerald, Willie Falalafe, they had years of eligibility remaining. So it's exciting that they could come back. Then there's also the immediate question of how are you able to retain those guys after a game like this? How confident are you in retention of this team's best players?
I am so confident in our retention. Christian Sarkisian, all the work that we've proactively done in that vertical. There's a lot of guys that are really committed to making sure that they come back, and a lot of guys are going to have to step up, Matt, in terms of the leadership component of things. But very, very confident in our retention. excited about what we're building with this team. And also, our first team meeting back in January, this group's going to be challenged. Um, we're losing not only a lot of really good football players, but we're losing a lot of incredible leaders. And this group better be hungry.
Yeah. Coach, you had a lot of seniors today play their last game, and a lot of them go out on top. Preston Stone with 226 and 3 touchdowns. Aiden Hubbard with 3 sacks. What does it mean to have guys be able to close out their careers like that with either their best game of the season or one of their best games in an overall team win like this?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. You want to see those guys go out on top and playing their best football. And again, I think it just really comes back to the commitment this group had in terms of their preparation. We had 2 practices before we even knew what bowl game we were going to or who our opponent was. I'm telling you, those first 2 practices were like some of the most spirited practices we've had all year. This is just a group that loved playing football together. And for that preparation to then show up on game day with performances like that, Aiden Hubbard, we all know, didn't play against Illinois. It would have been really easy for him to say, you know what? I've been dinged up. It's not in my best interest to push to get back. And that got pushed and he pushed and he pushed. Now, so a week out from game day, he's back in practice, and you see him perform like he did today. I mean, just remarkable.
Yeah, back here.
Coach, oftentimes in football, you spend so much time away from your family, especially on a holiday like this. You talked about the challenges earlier. How special was it when the football family on the field and you be able to celebrate with your family?
Yeah, tell you what, it's kind of funny. It was really special. Something that I really appreciate about this program, our players and our staff, is how much family truly matters to them. Like, we use it as a cliche sometimes, but what do our actions show? Seeing our guys, seeing Cam Porter with Bryson Thompson and Brock Thompson and that crew, seeing our players with my children, the Benz crew, the Hicks crew, like, it's really special. And in this world of college football right now, with the calendar the way that it is, our families make so many sacrifices. And actually at breakfast this morning, I had this conversation with some of our strength staff and others. It's really hard to find a way to, like, be really good at that at home and also be really good at, the demands of this job. I think the only way that you find a way to try and thread that needle is involve your family. And I'm really appreciative of the people that we have here that prioritize that it matters to them, and very thankful for our players in terms of the model, the role models that they are to our young kids on staff.
Hey, Coach, I got to do my job and ask this question, but there's a tweet out there from Adam Rittenberg at ESPN talking about an offensive reset coming. I was wondering if you had any comments on that.
I don't right now. I'm going to celebrate with this team and celebrate with this staff, and ultimately, we went out the right way, and really proud of our staff and our players for today.
Okay, well, let me ask you, what's next in the process in terms of, we talked about this before, you got to evaluate the entire program now that the season's over, the bowl game's over. What's next?
Yeah, it's being humble and hungry. Like the humble part is, like, the evaluation has to start with me, Louis. Like, I'll be the first one to tell you, 7-6. I feel like we should have won, 9 or 10 games this year. And, like, when you feel like you should have, well, then the first person that needs to look themselves in the mirror is me, in terms of everything that, every role that I play in terms of putting our guys in situations to win on game day. And the hungry part is, just because we won a bowl game doesn't mean that everything is just perfect within the program. If we're going to talk about there being a goal of winning the Big Ten championship and playing in the CFP, and guys, if we're going to play in the college football playoff, what should the ultimate goal be? Yeah, thank you. Yes, to go win a national championship. Like, we're not handing out participation awards. So it's ultimately my job to go through thoroughly in terms of everything that we're doing, evaluate if we're operating at that standard or not. And I'll be honest with you, Louis, the worst part of my job is the fact that, like, sometimes that leads to really difficult decisions that impact people that you care about and that you love and that you do anything for. And that that's an internal tug of war. That's a part of my job I really don't like. But if we're going to talk about it, we better make sure that we're evaluating in the same breath.
Coach, on that note, do you feel like 3 years in, two winning seasons, 2 bowl game wins, do you feel like you've set that standard, and do you feel like your program is on the trajectory towards that CFP, towards that national championship contention?
I do. And it's progress over perfection, right? Like, we got a long way to go. And again, it starts with me. Like, I think I did some things this year in terms of like thinking outside the box, the way that we were more fourth down aggressive, some of the creative things that we were doing. Like, I think as a head coach, I did some really good things this year. I also think there's plenty of things I need to improve upon, but we are progressing in the right direction. But are we going to stay humble? Are we going to stay hungry? Are we going to truly, evaluate everything that we're doing? And, with the leadership that we have with Mark Jackson and New Ryan Field on the way, and, like just so much timing and convergence of like really special things. Why can't this program be achieving on the field while still staying true to our non-negotiables, like we're seeing out of Indiana right now, or what we saw out of Vanderbilt that was this close to making the CFP this year? Why can't that be the Cats? There's a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. But to answer your question directly, it's progress over perfection. We are far from perfect, but we are progressing.
Time for a couple more. Ethan?
You mentioned the legacy of this season on basketball. Team-wide, obviously, every group is different. I'm curious, down the line, decades from now, how do you remember his season, his group of guys?
Yeah. I think the things that I will remember most, honestly, come from the off season. The meetings with our leadership, a certain standard in the way that our guys operated, and the fact that this group, like, we have really, really nice guys on this team. Like, they're polite. They treat each other well. They care about others. But ultimately, like, I really challenged this group this offseason. Like, truth is kind. Like, nice is just being nice and patting people on the back. But if you really care about someone, you're going to tell them the truth. Well, Mac Uline will tell you the truth. He'll tell me the truth. Like, this group really challenged one another to like raise the standard to a whole nother level. And they were willing to have uncomfortable conversations with one another, which I think is what led to the resiliency that you saw on this team. Like some of the tough stuff that we saw this year, really difficult Tulane loss and be able to bounce back, really difficult Oregon loss and be able to bounce back, to have a tough loss against Michigan and find a way to come back the following week and beat Minnesota to become bowl eligible. It's a reflection of that resiliency.
Matt?
Coach, going to the fourth quarter with the ball up 34-0, just put it bluntly, why isn't that drive going to Ryan Bowe with how much you talked about him as a potential future star?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly at what point that was. What we did talk about is we were going to give Preston one more series and then turn it over to Ryan. One thing I will tell you that we like really protected. There was a couple guys that we were very intentional about getting out, and then there was some guys that were seniors this year that we wanted to make sure we gave them a heads up, like, hey, this is your last series. Make sure it wasn't a surprise to them that we were pulling them and honoring their last college football game.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone.